there's a message to the Man Talking project. Like, this is publishing. What you're seeing right now, a guy driving in his car from Boston to Hartford to leave a single copy handwritten edition of his novella in some stranger's door. This actually is publishing. What the Bertelsmann Group decides to do with Twilight or Dan Brown is not publishing. Those are business transactions. But this is more akin to publishing, important publishing, than those sorts of business transactions. I think it's more meaningful. And even if next to no one cares, that doesn't mean that it's not meaningful. It's meaningful to some people. It'll be meaningful to Dan Pope when he gets my prize. At least I hope it will. My name is Mike Heppner, and I'm a writer. I live in the Boston area, and I've written a couple of novels, The Egg Code and Pike's Folly, and I am a teacher at Emerson College, and for the past couple of years I've been working on this project called the Man Talking Project, which is a series of 3 novellas and a coda. The first of the 4 sections was published in late 2008 by a Brooklyn-based publisher called Small Anchor Press, and it was published in a limited edition chapbook. The name of that section was Talking Man, and the first printing of Talking Man sold out, and so it's since gone into its second printing, which you can purchase exclusively from smallanchorpress.com. Part 2 is called Man, and Man was distributed, I should say, I was going to say published, but distributed to readers in December of 2008. 500 photocopies of the manuscript to Man were made and left in random locations, not only across the country, but in places in Europe as well, along with a note asking readers to read the novella and to email me some of their thoughts or comments at my website, which is mikeheppner.com. And if you go to my website, you can read some of those responses. So that was part 2, Man. Part 3, Man Talking, was and continues to be free and available to readers at my website, mikeheppner.com. All you have to do is go to the website and follow the link, and you can read it there. And even though Man Talking is the 3rd novella in the series, it was actually the first one that I wrote, and it was the first one that I presented to readers. It's been online since April of 2008, and I've had about 9,000 visitors to the website since then. And then the final part, which I initially called the 4th novella, and I realized that that was sort of a misleading term for it, and I now call it the coda. It's called Talking. So you have Talking Man, Man Talking, and Talking. And Talking is only available in a special handwritten edition, 1 copy only. And that copy is the grand prize in a contest that was held over the course of 2009. And the reason why we're here today is that we're going to be traveling to Hartford, Connecticut to present the contest winner with his prize. And his prize consists of a copy of the Small Anchor Press edition of Talking Man, 1 of the 500 photocopies of Man, a printout of the Man Talking novella, which you can also read at mikeheppner.com, and the 1 single copy handwritten edition of the 4th and final section, Talking. So the winner of the contest will actually be the only person in the world to possess all 4 sections of the Man Talking project. I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I've come to realize, and I've learned the hard way, that people aren't going to pay attention to your writing because you're a good writer or because, it's a good novel. That's just not germane, really. As a writer who wants to connect with readers, you have to have faith in the idea that you are a good writer and that your work has value and it has integrity, but you also have to realize that that's not how you sell it to people. That's not how you convince people to give you the time of day. And that doesn't mean that people are shallow. It just means that you have to make a lot of noise in 2009 to get 5 seconds of someone's attention. And just saying, will you read this, I'm a good writer, is never going to be enough. You have to do something sensational and silly and attention-getting, whether it's running a contest to see, if anyone can find the secret phrase in one of your books, or making a bunch of photocopies and leaving them around random locations, or whatever it is that you have to do. If 95% of the people who are attracted to your project are attracted to it due to superficial reasons, there's still that other 5%, and that's plenty. I'm always convinced that no one has ever read any of my books, and I was talking to someone about a year ago, a guy from Canada who was interviewing me about this project over the phone. He was talking about how he'd read my last book, Pike's Folly, and he'd read my first book, which I was shocked at, and that he'd given it to everyone he knew, and that something like 40 people had read his copy of Pike's Folly, and it came back to him all dog-eared and everything. And I was just stunned. Obviously, it made me really happy that the idea that anyone has read it, let alone this one guy giving it to 40 people, is amazing. And so every step of this project has been a way of exploring different avenues through which writers can connect with readers. And in the case of this stage, the contest, it takes the relationship and it narrows it down to one-on-one, one author and one reader. And in that case, it's this guy Dan, who won my contest, who is going to get the only copy of a piece of writing that I spent a lot of time working on, and he's the only person who's going to read it. All right, it looks like we're almost there. The destination is on the right. Should be here. Yes, I guess this is it.
Destination on the left.
Yes, and in fact, the name is on the house, so this is the place. Well, let's see. Let's see what we shall see. We've reached our goal. This is the prize winner's home for the Man Talking Novella contest. So let's give him his prize. Okay, well, we've just been in our contest winner's house, Dan Pope, and we've had a nice long conversation, and I've given him his prize, and we're leaving now. My wife is always saying that this is gloomy weather, but I like gloomy weather. I think sunshine is overrated. I think weather reports are biased toward valuing sunny weather as a positive and rainy weather as inherently bad. But actually, we need more rainy weather than sunny weather. I never understood that bias where the weatherman expects you to be sad because it's going to rain today. It's a good thing. If I was a weather person, I would not have that bias.